never look backwards to find the guilty guy. There is no guilty guys when a problem comes.
How do you identify an empowered mindset?
The real leader is the one that is followed by the people without this person asking for that, but because the people naturally follow.
When you first came to the Middle East, was there any cultural changes that you saw?
I'm very proud to be part of a sector that is trying to improve the life of many people.
Was there a moment in your journey when you thought, yes, this is exactly what I want to be doing?
It was a pleasure. It was really professional the way that you organized. I congratulate you, and I'm sure that you are going to be really successful with this podcast.
Hi everyone, I'm Mohsinaa. Welcome back to Self-Discovery Podcast, a space where we uncover the mindset, beliefs, and inner evolution of leaders who are redefining what true leadership looks like from the inside out. Today on the Self-Discovery Podcast, we are joined by a remarkable global leader, Julio de la Rosa Jurado. With more than 22 years of experience across water, renewable energy, and sustainable infrastructure, Julio currently serves as the Middle East Director for ACCIONA's water business. He oversees some of the region's most critical desalination and water treatment projects, including transformative developments like Jubail 3B and Shuqaiq 4 in Saudi Arabia. Julio's career spans Spain, Abu Dhabi, and Dubai, blending deep environmental engineering expertise with strong commercial and strategic leadership. From tender management to steering billion-dollar projects, he is widely recognized for his calm decision-making, multicultural team leadership, and his commitment to advancing water security for millions across the Middle East. His global lens, sustainability mindset, and human-centered leadership make him an extraordinary voice for today's conversation on purpose, innovation, and impact. Hi, Julio. Welcome to the Self-Discovery Podcast. How are you today?
How are you? Thank you very much for hosting me, for thinking about me for this opportunity, and as well, thank you very much for the people joining online.
For all the big titles that you hold
Okay.
and you have held in the past, please tell me who you were as a young professional. What were the dreams? What was the thought process? Did you think at a young age that you would be where you are today?
Well, you mean younger, no? Because I consider myself still young. Well, I was no, just joking. Well, I was a passionate environmental engineer, starting working in Spain with a lot of curiosity, willing to implement creative solutions. And that very soon I started to travel around the world, Mexico, Namibia, different countries. 15 years ago, I started to be based in the Middle East. It's a land that I love. We will see along the conversation. And as well, if you are asking me the experience that will shape, the foundation of the leader I am now. I was thinking about this and for the second position, maybe I need to think about it. But for the first one, I have no doubt, Mohsinaa. It's the family. Family in my childhood and my existing family now, my wife, my daughter, and my son. Why I say my parents, for example? I say my parents because, I'm coming from a very humble family. My father had two businesses, ice factory. This is why I used to say that my life has been linked to the water during all the time. And as well, a car wash. I wash car with my hands, from very, very young, even before being engineer. So this put in my DNA the foundation for hard work. During the whole year, I finished the school of the university on Friday, and on Saturday, I start working along with my father and my brothers, and in the summer, exactly the same. Mm-hmm. So this will stamp in my DNA the hard work, and as well to be before the people, attending the people, understanding the people. This helped to break the barrier you may have to develop relationships. And as well, along this, I would say that the foundation of the leadership I have today is based in two situations I face that you don't have a clear limit between what is professional and what is personal. When I arrived to Middle East, we start working very hard with the team. And after 5 years, we were finalizing a wonderful 2015 years, 2 desalination plants, 1 power plant, unbelievable. And in one way, the company I was working, called for Chapter 11 bankruptcy. This teach me that everything can change in 1 second. And you see the reaction of the people under these circumstances. It's not the reaction of one engineer or the reaction of one administration. It's the reaction of a human being facing a difficulty. And as well, the hardest situation I faced is that I lost my parents while I was working here in the Middle East. And as well, when you see the reaction of your colleagues, the takeaway you take, or at least the one I took, is that companies a brand, is a logo, but companies is people. At the end of the day, a company is formed by a group of people. And I think this is the foundation of the leadership I have today. Hard work, developing relationship, and understanding that at the end of the day, the companies are not more than people.
You have made a lot of emphasis in terms of people being connected and family relationships. Can you tell me the thought process when you first came to the Middle East? Was there any cultural changes that you saw, or you saw people as people? What were the emotions then in your mind?
Well, when I arrived to Middle East, when you work in a private company, everything needs to be quick. You are under pressure, you need to deliver, you need to get new contracts, shareholders are looking for that. But here things are different. Here the things move in a different pace. Sometimes I said that I will rename, when we say the business development department here in the Middle East should be the relationship development department, because you need to dedicate time. Because at the end of the day, okay, we are selling projects, but in reality, what we are selling is trust. You need to build the trust with your client, otherwise they will not take. This is one of the important things that change in my mindset. I mean, here things are happening at a different pace. You need to develop the relationship with the clients. You need to make the clients secure that you are going to be here for a long term, that you are not trying just to get a project and run away, that you understand what the client is needing, and that you are realistic with the client and you deliver and you fulfill your commitments.
You are someone who had led landmark projects, water projects across the Middle East.
Yeah.
Was there a moment in your journey when you thought, yes, this is exactly what I want to be doing, or I was meant to be doing in my life?
Mohsinaa, when I arrived here in 2011, very soon, one friend of mine working in another Spanish company, he secured a project of 300,000 cubic meters per day desalination plant. At that time, this was a mega project. The size was around 50 to 60. He got 300 in a shot. So I thought automatically, oh my God, I'm willing one day to get one project similar to this. After 15 years, it's not me. I'm just a small drop in the ocean of the team that secured 8 desalination plants, 4 wastewater treatment plants, 1 solar power plant, and 1 thermal power plant. I say 300. In the desalination plant I have been part of is 3 million cubic meters per day capacity. This is equivalent to provide water to 12 million people. So sometimes I say, why? Why? Because I love my work. Of course, I mean for this work. I love to identify the opportunities time in advance. I love to identify which is the way to build the most competitive or more advantage proposal to the clients, fulfilling the needs of the clients, reaching a win-win situation with the partners. And when I look back, I would say that not 100%, but what I'm doing, I feel passionate about this. And this is what makes me very happy.
And this is amazing what you just said.
You have been involved in mega projects. You have led mega projects, not in just this region, but I'm sure you know where you are from as well. So, Julio, what are the 3 mindset beliefs that you have as a leader which keeps you calm, grounded, and makes you feel that, listen, I'm here to lead. At the same time, I'm also here to make others empowered.
I print out a poem from Kipling that is called If. That is very important to read it. At least I think it's important because you are asking about the bad moments. But in this poem, Kipling said that we need to treat it well, the triumph and the disaster, because they are equally impostors. Meaning that it's important to understand first when you are going, let's say, in a critical situation, that this is temporary. Nothing lasts 100 years, even not these bad situations. You need to be calm, for sure. You need to be calm. You need to look forward mainly and never look backwards to find the guilty guy. There is no guilty guys when a problem comes. You need to look back just to learn and to avoid this kind of mistake. You need to be sure about your capabilities to solve the problems. And for this, most likely you have past bad experience you overcome and you succeed finally. To give trust to the team and to motivate them, to make them feel that here we are together, to take the flag, to be at the front line with the team, never hide yourself. You not only have to be for the picture, but as well, you have to be for the regrets and for the bad times. And together analyze which is the best way to get out of this situation.
Water remains one of humans' biggest challenges in life, humanity's biggest challenges that we are talking about. What keeps you personally committed to this mission? Like you said, your father inspired you into it. It's in your DNA. At the same time, sometimes it might feel that, I want to do something else, probably. Okay. What has kept you consistent in this mission?
Mohsinaa, the water, I arrived in an in-depth manner to the water sector, but I'm very proud to be part of the water sector. Why? Because it has a human component, a very heavy human component. What I mean, only 1% of the water in the world is sweet, accessible water that you can potentially drink, and most of them is frozen. And as well, 3 billion people doesn't have daily access to potable water. And I'm very proud. I'm very proud to be part of a sector that is trying to improve the life of many people. For example, in Africa, and mainly it's women, needs to walk 2 hours, 3 hours to get something similar to a bad quality water. And this is why I used to say that most luxury device that we have at home is not the iPhone or the big TV that we have, the tap and the toilet. The problem we have in the water sector is that the clouds rain water, and this makes us think automatically that we deserve to have clean water easily and cheap. What is true? But as well, it's fair to understand how difficult it is and the luxury of having unlimited potable water at home, and as well to be able to treat the sewage that we generated 100%, avoiding really, really dangerous disease for all kids. This is what makes me proud to be part of this sector, that maybe a small contribution to help in the life of the people.
Can you tell us what is the best combination that should be there in terms of the minerals or the pH levels? Because you have studied water, you know about water. Can you tell us this?
Well, there is one parameter that is here in the Middle East that is very important, is the total dissolved salt that the water should have. And it's very interesting that you raise this point, because, according to the World Health Organization, anything below 600 milligram per liter is considered potable water. Okay. Well, this is a very important, because, at the end of the day, water is food. For me, water is the most important food that you put in daily basis and in the largest amount in your body. So we are only speaking about getting cheap potable water. But maybe now is the time to speak about quality water. Quality water, because it's by far the most important element that you take in daily basis, directly and indirectly through another food. So I would say I'm lacking information about this. We are concentrated in defining and getting cheap water. But if I have to be frank, I'm not able to find, maybe it's my fault, detailed studies or a long-term study about how the different parameters in the water, one is potable. I mean, you can take it to 600, but you can go below that to 200, 140 in many places here in the Middle East. But there is not a clear, let's say, a study addressing how important is the reduction of this component along with other minerals. And it's something that I'm lacking, because maybe once we have around 1,000 liters of potable water by $50, maybe it's time, I think it's cheap enough, maybe it's time to speak about the quality of the water that we put inside our body and how this will affect our health.
So have you studied the Zamzam water?
Well, I know the company treating this water, but we particularly have not analyzed anything related to this very important water. No, I know the company here in Saudi Arabia that is blessed with the treatment of this important source of water, but not going into the detail. I don't have access to the information of this.
Julio, please tell me now that how do you define an empowered individual? You have met dignitaries, met global leaders across the world, people in power positions. How do you identify an empowered mindset? What are the 3 aspects, if I may ask you?
Well, for me, empowered person is the person that is followed by the people without the need to follow him. I mean, if the people that is under you in the hierarchy is following you, it's because they are obliged to do so. The real leader is the one that is followed by the people without this person asking for that, but because the people naturally follow. How will you reinforce this? I would say that leading by example, as I said before, the people needs to see that you are in the good and in the bad moments, and always you are in the front line, that you are working along with them hand by hand, that you have the empathy enough to see the world from a different eyes, not only from your eyes, and that you listen the problems of the other people. And one of the things I have is that in my daily work, no, besides working hard, solving problems, and blah, blah, what is very important as well, what I try to implement is to make the life of the people as easy, as happy as possible. It doesn't mean that this is easy in the work, because sometimes we are under pressure. But as a key point, not to create unnecessary problems or bad time to the people surrounding you, because each one has his own problems enough in the life. The life is giving you problems enough for you to create more than the necessary problems to the people.
This is such an empowered mindset talking.
And I think if each one of us follow this, making a comfortable atmosphere for people around us, that's the best.
That's it.
Water is an essential consumption commodity or food for people. So why is there so much of disparity in terms of getting clean water in different parts of this world? What, according to you, will change this and people can get clean water to drink?
Well, water is life. I mean, Mohsinaa, without clean water, the quality of your life is not the same. What happens is that we give for granted that we have availability for clean water. No? If you are asking me, which is the way for everyone to get clean water? Okay.
Yes.
There is a triangle that is energy, water, and food. No, it is said as long as you have energy, cheap energy enough, you should have one source of potable water. And as long as you have a source of potable water, you should be able to produce food. Along, we will put aside the discussion about the quality of the soil. Okay. So if you are asking me, I think that we are about to have a breaking point in this triangle. And it's sooner than later, the availability of cheap batteries storage. This is going to allow to have cheap energy through renewable sources in many parts of the world that before was not possible to have this, and even including remote areas. This is going to help to implement in a cheap manner desalination solutions. I'm thinking mainly in reverse osmosis. And this is going to be able to provide to the population an affordable, quality, potable water.
There are steps, like you said, being taken. I'm sure what you have shared with us today will be paid heed to, not just by people, but also by people who can make decisions in this sector.
Well, it's wonderful. Mohsinaa is coming in the right time. I have not shared with you this before, but I am about to move from the Middle East. I'm going to be taking care of the Middle East. We are going to remain in the Middle East having activities. But right now, for a while, I'm going to be away. So this podcast arrived in the right time. Was a pleasure. Was really professional the way that you organized. I congratulate you. And I'm sure that you are going to be really successful with this podcast.
Thank you for joining in my podcast. And it was a lovely conversation that we had, which is inspiring at the same time, close to your heart.